support us by supporting him. That was the best thing I've ever said, ever.
That was really good.
Okay. Welcome back to JR Pro Shop Vids. You got Jimoo
And Barks.
and we are here to talk about the brand new Zero Mercies from Hammer. So Barks, we got two bowling balls here. I have a feeling you're gonna tell us why they're different in a second, but what's that in the middle?
So we do have the core mold for the Zero Mercy balls here. It is a lot different than the No Mercies from many years ago. This is actually based on the original 3D offset core with a few slight changes. Those were fairly strong total differential balls, but not a whole lot of intermediates. You didn't see a ton of change in direction compared to some of the bigger asymmetric balls, your NVs, your effects, things of that nature. This is going to beef up that core, and we're gonna get a lot more hook out of these than we did of the 3D offsets.
That 3D offset was pretty good though, eh?
See, the original wasn't my favorite. I really liked the 3D offset attack, the blue one. A little bit more angle. I had a lot of balls that hook early. That one actually gave me a little bit more down lane. I liked that a lot better.
That's true. So the core is the same on both of these, but the outsides look quite different. Tell me a little more.
So chemically, they are the same. We have a new cover stock for both of these balls. It is HK22C squared. Yeah, exactly. Bit of a tongue twister on that one.
Gotcha.
Obviously, we're using an HK22 base. That cohesion additive was originally put in the effect, the original effect. We saw that built upon with a maximum effect. And these have another additive, a chrome additive. I couldn't tell you too much about it. You'll find out more as time goes on, but we had a seminar recently. They introduced it to us, but we didn't get too much into what it was. What I can tell you is these are very chemically strong cover stocks. They're meant to hook a lot. Paired with a really big dynamic core, I think we're gonna see a lot of overall hook today.
All right, thanks Barks.
Yeah,
I'm
no
gonna go
worries.
bowl.
Right, good luck.
Today we got a 44-foot challenge pattern, EJ Tacket. Quite a decent amount of volume and length. So strong bowling balls, let's see if it matches up pretty nice. I can't wait to throw. Starting first with the Ion Max, which is my hook monster. I'm gonna stand pretty far inside and get a baseline here. Not a bad shot. We had a little league play on this lane, so we moved slightly further inside and maybe catch some of the carry down. 3 left, let's throw another good shot. Good shot. We moved 3 left from our last shot. That gave the perfect amount of room. I can see the ball wants to stand up a little early. That's especially due to its solid cover. Quite aggressive. So now let's go to the strongest ball Hammer has made to date, and that is the Zero Mercy Solid. I mean, come on, look at this. Let's be real. This is gonna hook at my feet. Let's throw a good shot. Same line as that Ion Max. Here we go. Good shot. Whoa, pretty good. I can tell that it's hooking a little bit more, a little stronger, but we'll throw another shot and see. The flare lines are insane. Considering that we left a 9-pin, means we gotta have some back end too. Good shot. Woo. Very nice. I'm gonna be honest, I couldn't find a line on the right side all night. I ended up throwing a backup ball. I wish I could throw this ball. Wow. Knowing that this is one of the strongest balls that Hammer has ever made, I assume that we're gonna have to get very deep in order to make sure that the ball has enough time to reach the pocket. Otherwise, if we played further right, we're gonna go Brooklyn and maybe just pick the 7-pin all night. Let's move another 2. Getting a little deeper, but I think this ball will be able to come back. A little outside. There we go. Usually I find throwing asymmetric solids later in the day, the ball wants to kind of roll early and then roll forward as opposed to save its energy for the back. Usually that's when we'll go to the hybrids and the pearls. We're testing the limits, that's why we do these reviews. I'm pretty happy with where we're standing with that Zero Mercy. All right, let's go Ion Max from that same spot. Missed inside with the Ion Max, wasn't really fair. Let's throw it to the right spot and see if it's able to come back. I think I'm just a little too far inside, and like I said before, the ASIM solid kind of wants to just roll early and go straight, and now that we're trying to cover too many boards, it's not retaining any energy. That's actually why we use the asymmetric solids, sim solids, to play straighter on the fresh. because those balls are a little better at rolling and rolling forward, as opposed to your hybrids and pearls, where they retain energy way better. And that's why when the lanes break down, we move in with those and swing the lane. Speaking of which, let's throw the brand new Zero Mercy Pearl. This one looks sweet as well. I'll go on that same line. I think we'll have to slow it down just slightly to give it enough time. Go inside. Look how that ball went through the pins. Just some small speed adjustments, stayed a little bit longer in the middle part of the lane. That was perfect. Notice how that ball drove through the pins. All 10 went down. That's what you want to see later in the day like this. But we need to compare that ball to something. How about one of my favorites from the entire year? The Evoke Hysteria from Motive. Same line, same speed. Very similar in design, asymmetric pearl. I've been using that Evoke Hysteria a lot, especially for the later games and tournaments. It's just so good at getting through all the muckiness in the front, saving some energy for the back. I would say one of the reasons I love the Evoke Hysteria is because I would say it gives me length and arc, as opposed to length and snap. Usually the snappy balls are really hard to control. Something like that Steel Forge that I've been using. It's really nice because it hooks a lot, but sometimes too much, especially for a two-hander. But out of this Zero Mercy, who knows? Maybe it will roll very similar. We gotta throw a few more shots. Oh, house shot now. House shot now. One thing I will mention is it's a general misconception that just because a pattern is long doesn't mean that you need to bring out the strongest balls. On this condition, these pearls, which are technically weaker, are rolling a lot better than the solids. So the reason being is just because it's a long pattern, it actually has the same volume of oil as it would a short pattern or medium pattern. It's just stretched out even further, meaning the front part of the lane actually has less oil than it would be on a shorter or medium pattern. So once again, if you grab your strongest equipment for these long patterns, they might roll a little too early and might not have any energy when it goes to the pins. Choose your arsenals wisely. Evoke Hysteria, same line. I'm gonna be completely honest, guys. The Evoke Hysteria is one of my favorite balls, and I can't tell a difference between that one and this new Zero Mercy Pearl. Where was this all night? Where was it all night? Barks knows. Where was this all night? We're gonna go back to these solids. I'm gonna try to fluff the ball off my hand, meaning make sure I don't hit up on it so it doesn't roll as early, and see if we can move a little further right. That ball's strong. That ball's strong. All right, let's move a couple left because this ball's still hooking. Come on. Woo, low further left. We gotta be careful not to send it right too early. Not bad, got a little forward with that one. What I'm noticing, the main difference between the solid and the pearl of the Zero Mercies, I feel like the solid I have to be so accurate right now, playing this many boards and swinging the lane. Where the pearl, I have so much room. I can miss a little in, miss a little out, and it's rolling to the pocket perfectly, as long as I keep my speed down. But with this solid, I don't know. I feel like I might flat 10 a little more if I keep trying to force it there. I feel like the solid will be way better on the fresh. All right, let's throw a few more with the pearl, because that's the one that's rolling the best. And we'll send it back and we'll talk to Barks. Oh, to the heart. As you can see, that ball's driving through the pins. When you leave a 9-pin like that, it means it's going through the pins quite sharp. It struck. I don't know if the machine hit it. I don't know. Let's talk to Barks.
All right, so we're back from the lanes. Jimoo threw both of these. Obviously similar designs, same core. Did you find a lot of difference between them?
Oh yeah. I guess the one similarity would be that these bowling balls hook a lot, and that's very apparent. I think that's what Hammer was also trying to do.
100%.
To the Pearl, this was the ball for today's condition. We got some burnt up lanes from League, and this ball is able to just save enough energy to go through the pins. And I can miss some boards on the left and right, which, you know, I need.
It's always nice to have that. Left and right, you're in business.
Pretty sweet. Comparing these to my other two balls, the Ion Max has been my hook monster for the last year, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but this one hooks even more. Shape is a little similar. I would say this one wants to roll a little more forward in the back, but definitely this one covers more boards.
So the marketing on this is, it is supposed to be the biggest hooking hammer ball ever. Would you say that lives up to that billing?
Haven't thrown all the hammer balls, but yeah, this one hooks the most.
From what you've seen though, it's definitely up there. It's gotta be.
Yeah. And then I threw the Evoke Hysteria from Motive against this Zero Mercy Pearl. And I'm gonna be honest, the Evoke Hysteria has been one of my favorite balls from 2025. So comparing that to this, I was a little worried, but surprisingly, this one rolled very similar to one of my favorite balls. So I'm excited to see if there's any difference moving forward, but for now, I'm very happy. So Barks, obviously these balls hook a lot. Where do they fit in the Hammer lineup?
Well, like I said previously, this is supposed to be the biggest hooking hammer ball of all time. Certainly fits that billing. It's definitely a step above what the Maximum Effect was, which was previously marketed as the biggest hooking hammer ball. If you notice recently, that's changed a little bit. They're marketing it as the biggest hooking effect ball, and that's the reason why.
Right.
This was coming out and they knew that. The Pearl here is supposed to fit between the original effect and the Maximum Effect. The original effect was a really clean, really angular ball. The Zero Mercy Pearl definitely has a bit more of an arc to it versus a snap like the original effect did. So I think design intent and the reality of it definitely matches. So you have the biggest hooking ball, you have a ball that fits in between the two effects.
Perfect 1-2 combo.
Yeah, exactly.
Right here.
If you're bowling on a lot of oil, these are the type of balls you need. And you gotta bowl on a lot of oil to make this one look good.
Definitely. So with that being said, let's get right into ball ratings. All right, starting with hook potential. I'm gonna go with, if I could give it 11, I would give it 11, but we're going 10 out of 10 for the Zero Mercy Solid, and we're gonna give this one a 9.
Tell me more about response time.
We're talking about the shape when the ball encounters friction. I'm gonna say we're gonna go with a solid 4 for the solid, and that's because it's nice and smooth off the end of the pattern. And this one, like we said, it's not super snap, so we're gonna go with a nice 7.5. I like where that fits there, because it does retain enough energy though, where I can still trust that it's gonna carry through the pins.
And moving on to the last thing, which is shelf appeal. We may differ on this a little bit.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with an 8 for the solid and a 7 for the Pearl. You?
We're not too far off. I would give this a 7, but this is like a solid 9 for me.
Yeah.
I like the 4-color blend. That's something that we've seen in some of the other Brunswick brands. And in Hammer, we haven't seen a really bright ball like this in a long time. So having that white in there with the black and the purple and the kind of red, I really like the tones of that. I would give it a 9. That looks really good to me.
I think that white is what's making it hook really early.
And that's another thing that maybe doesn't get talked about, especially with the stronger cover stocks. The brighter those colors become, the earlier they want to dig into the lane. So that's why you're seeing such an early roll in this. This, a little bit more muted, a little bit more mellow colors, you're seeing a little bit more length. All right, Jimoo, some final thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. These balls need oil. To be honest, we brought out the comparison balls today. That Ion Max, I haven't thrown it in a few months, and that's because I haven't had the oil to throw that ball. Even on today's condition, these balls were a lot. So I would say, I would only recommend these balls if you know you are bowling on heavy oil. You, Barks?
Yeah, I would totally agree. Another thing to think about is the age of the lane surface that you bowl on. So even if we put a lot of oil out, some of those older lane panels, they're getting 20, 25 years older. It might be tough to use a ball that's this strong. If you're looking for a similar shape, but a little bit less performance on those older panels, you might be looking at like a Black Widow 3.0 or Black Widow Mania to complement what these ones are trying to be. That'd be my recommendation.
Hammer's got a lot of good balls.
A lot of balls in general, but all of them seem to have their place and they perform very, very well. I do want to give a special shout out to Brian Garland, our rep in the West for Brunswick, for giving us the core mold. It's heavy, it's like 7 pounds. Can you believe that? So thanks for providing that for us for our review today.
Before you leave, comment down below, what is your go-to heavy oil ball? For me, it would probably be the Ion Max. Now this Zero Mercy Solid. How about you, Barks?
Currently, it's a Paragon Shadow, but it might be the Zero Mercy Solid coming up. I'm pretty impressed.
So thanks for watching again. Make sure to check out shop.boofabowling.com and receive 10% off when you use code JungoBarks at checkout. That's Barks. Jungo's, I don't know where Jungo is.
He's out there somewhere.
He's got bowling balls, shoes, bags, literally anything bowling. he's got it. So make sure to check it out. Support us by supporting him. That's the best thing I've ever said. Ever.
That was really good.
That was really good. Okay. Thanks, everyone. See you next time. Good shot. Good shot. Good shot. A little outside. Come on. Inside.